Hey guys, we're sitting here in the hotel room in Lenzerheide. We've set up, ready for a busy day of work tomorrow. But in the meantime, we thought we'd answer some of the questions you guys have sent in about the setup videos that we made. Chris O'Donnell. When adjusting settings, low speed compression, high speed compression, rebound during bracketing, do you suggest doing the fork and shock separate or bracket together? You always do them separate. You do one thing at a time each time. Keeps it simple, and then you know exactly what you've done. Sometimes if you adjust the fork, the shock can feel different. If you adjust two things at a time, you don't know which one helped. Next, RoboSend. At Fox, what do you think about lubing the sanctions? I don't know anything about sanctions, but if we're talking about stanchions, either spraying some sort of silicone on them or dropping lube under the dust wiper, is this just an excuse to not do a proper lower leg service? Yes, don't do it, especially not silicone. Eric Sharp. Jordi, can I expect suspension to feel the same at my preferred settings every time? Will this change with the life of the shocks? And how does basic maintenance affect how my shock at preferred settings will feel? Yeah, it'll change. If you wake up in the morning, you never feel the same way. So your suspension's gonna feel different as well. It will also change as it gets dirty or tired. So that's how servicing helps suspension feel the same. Keep it clean and keep it lubed and functioning. Jack Beams. I like this, but when doing runs, what are you feeling for and how do I know if I like it better or not? I don't really know how to answer that, Jack. How do you know if you like other things better? Like food or coffee or a pillow. You either like it better or you don't. So run with that. Leo Vidal. I have a more general question. Why almost all the forks on the market are using air instead of coil? Coil's awesome because of high sensitivity at the beginning of the travel, and we're still using it on shocks, so why not on forks? Is it only because it's heavier than an air fork, or is there any other reason? We also use air shocks, and we do use coil forks sometimes. Right now, air forks work really well, so there's not really any point in using springs. They're heavy, they're loud, they're dirty. Coil springs go inside the fork oil generally, so they create debris and wear. And a fork is a 1-to-1 ratio, so it works better with an air spring. Martin Gibelade. If you have compression and rebound settings dialed and you add or remove volume spacers, do the settings before change? Settings don't change. Maybe you mean, are you gonna have to change the settings? Maybe. Re-bracket it and give it a shot. You tell me. Garrett Kyle at Fox, apologies if this has been covered before. One thing that's puzzled me is how you set high speed and low speed settings independently, given that the dials seem to move in unison. Don't worry about it. They're a little assembly that does two different things, but the low speed adjuster will turn with the high speed adjuster on the fork, not on the shock. But just go ahead and do it. Bonky Wonky, any word on how those adjustments relate to each other? I'm curious whether I should use a spacer when bottoming out too often. We kind of covered that in the video. Set it up so you like the feel, and then if you bottom out, add volume. Guessing the spacer would result in a more poppy bike, whereas heavier damping would deaden the bike. Guess you could kind of say that. But yes, also damping affects the entire stroke from beginning to end, and air volume is ramping or progression. Brendan Tovey, I thought you had to do air first, then rebound, then compression, not compression before rebound. I've always thought of compression as final tuning and air pressure and rebound as the fundamentals. Nah, you're good, that's fine. It's probably better than what I did. Rebecca DH69. Jordi, are you single? Yep. Titan 1. Generally speaking, what setting changes would you recommend if your front end is sliding more than your rear and or you want your rear end to slide more? I don't know. Grab the rear brake, it'll slide. Matteo Armenti, guys, which is the reason of the Andriani vacuum pump? Is it faster to do the procedure? Yeah, it's fast, much faster. And we do high quantity, so it helps. Maybe this is your question too. Is rebound counting from closed? Yes, same as everything. Always count from closed to open. Mr. Bjorn TSC, I want to know which employee at RockShox thumbed the episode down. That's a good question. I'm gonna look into that. Flocky, hi, what can I do with my DHX2 coil? Sag is on point, piggyback is on max pressure. There's no max, there's only one pressure, so double check that. But it bottoms out. You can go to a stiffer spring or add some compression. Ikmag Baum, I probably screwed that up. How to raise suspension, put half recommended air pressure into the fork shock, put as many volume spacers inside as possible and run the fastest rebound. Good luck with that. David, Jordi, can you give me a little help? I have a Fox DPX2 and my shock doesn't go to the end of the stroke even without any air. The O-ring only reaches the end of the Kashima logo. David, check the code on your shock. It'll tell you what stroke that shock is supposed to be. I bet it's getting that stroke. Not all shocks go to the end of travel, especially metric ones. All right, so hopefully I answered some questions there and didn't just create more questions. Tomorrow we got a busy service day here in Lenzerheide, and the rest of the week is calling for rain and some kind of hectic conditions. But if you have more questions, please hit us up and we'll do our best to answer them. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next episode.